Once only. Play full game. Entering team select screen. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the home team, are selected. Ready.
Today, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's Week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Bucs take over.
The Buccaneer offense taking the field with all eyes in the stadium glued to their quarterback in season number 21. His first, of course, in Tampa, the great Tom Brady.
Well, partner, how many times do we talk about it going into a season? At some point, we have to figure that age is going to catch up to Tom Brady, but how long have we been wrong about that? I'd say probably about the last 10 years. Last year, he threw for over 4,000 yards again. Should go over 75,000 passing yards in his career early this season. He's still got it. And what a new challenge he's got in Tampa Bay. Excited about the opportunity.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, now Brady. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Brady to throw. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
49-yard line.
I'm don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Brady now on first down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
More yards.
The numbers for Evans a week ago. 6 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
Third in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Second and 12. Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Brady. He's got Evans. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. Dorian O'Daniel, 3rd-round pick in 2018, made the tackle.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain, but I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
From the 24, Brady. That's complete to his running back, Taylor. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. Drops this one off to McCoy underneath. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. from the 10, first and goal.
Let's go, D, tighten up. Let's go, D, tighten up. Check it.
From the gun, it's Brady. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Again, they'll throw with Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that hole, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. So here are the Chiefs now backed up for their first drive. They'll be led out by the reigning Super Bowl MVP in his 4th year now. It's Patrick Mahomes.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. Because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
A gain of 5.
Well, both teams practice this situation. And this time, the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
Second and 5 now. Mahomes, a quick slant to Hill. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down.
Well, they were backed up to start the drive, but how about that aggressiveness? Firing it downfield right away. Nice job there getting out towards what would have been their normal starting position.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little bumping. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. The numbers for Bell on the ground of the game last week. 16 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And that's 10 touchdowns on the season for him on the ground. And remember our meeting with the coaching staff, they did share with us that one of their goals for the year was for him to get in the end zone at least 10 times. And that ramps up into their bigger goal to try and get 20 overall as a team.
From the 38, Mahomes quickly to Kelsey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Edwards-Helaire, the ball carrier. He was tackled at the 46-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. The shotgun, it's Bell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Back deep, Jadon Mickens. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
3-yard pickup.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Let's go, let's go. And we got Mike, number 3.
On 2nd and 7, Brady. A quick pass here to Godwin. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. The starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Brady going to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Play action, it's Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack by the Super Bowl champion and Pro Bowler Jason Pierre-Paul. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. That's complete right around the 8.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Demarcus Robinson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the play. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From midfield, here's Brady. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens.
A loss of 10 yards on the play.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The sack backs him up, 3rd and long. Tough challenge for Brady and the Bucs. Operating from the gun, Brady. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens.
Intercepted by the Chiefs. They'll take over first.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
On second down, it's Bell. And a nice run there, going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 34. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Number 25.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 17-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
First down, Kansas
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal. That's the end of the first quarter.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Nothing.
Second and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Le'Veon Bell. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. No success on 1st down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Derek Nottie makes the tackle.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Brady now to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Chris Godwin, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Brady. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 44-yard line. 1st down, Tampa's Brady hooks up with Howard.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Now Leonard Fournette. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the run, it's Fournette. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Fournette again, the ball carrier.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Fournette. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Brady. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run forward with Fournette, and that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
The tackle made.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. When we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
This Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Brady. The quick slant caught. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Ryan Succop for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Here's Mecole Hardman. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Shaquille Barrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Jonathan Cyprien there defensively to make the play.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now here's Mahomes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at the 34. Working from the gun, it's Brady. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. The Brady-Gronk connection, certainly something to watch here with the Bucs in 2020. Of Tom Brady's 541 touchdown passes coming into 2020, Gronk's 78 were the most of any receiver. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, Brady. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
The 50-yard line.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Brady again. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run with Fournette. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Fournette. And he'll take this close to a first down at the Chiefs' 21. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll go for it. It's Brady. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Brady. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Bucs on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 4. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rob Gronkowski, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point try now for Succop. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Here's Hardman on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 29.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The tight end Kelsey was the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Mahomes now to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Now Edwards-Helaire. And he's got this down to the 35. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to Edwards-Helaire on 1st down. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jason Pierre-Paul showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. From the gun, it's Mahomes. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. Fournette making his way back out there. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. That's good for 28 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 30-yard line. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Brady, and he finds Howard complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 14. 11 yards there, 1st down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the 1st half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Tom Brady, his 3rd touchdown pass of this 1st half. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Now he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Succop for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Here's Hardman on the return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10.
Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 23-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Kansas City.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes gets this one to Hill. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 40. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Mahomes now on first down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Ndamukong Suh in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It's 2nd down.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out in Denver, and it's the Saints who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. From there, we head east to Detroit to check on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Matthew Stafford, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were losers in that one to the visiting L.A. Chargers. 24-22, the final score. In the game you're watching, it's who else? Tom Brady with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Super Bowl champs trailing here, but they will get the ball first to begin quarter number 3. Here's Hardman on the return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
First down, Chiefs.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Looking to throw is Mahomes. A quick slant to Hill. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Edwards-Helaire. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. is relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a 2nd down and 6. They'll run it with Williams. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
It's a gain of 10. And the first.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. To the ground, this time with Bell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Mahomes. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It'll be a gain of 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Now Bell. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
With the ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown.
Complete to number 10,
Tyreek Hill. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Butker now to add the extra point. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown.
Entering screen, resume. Entering main menu screen, Superstar X Factor. Entering Superstar X Factor screen, you have 108 options. Andrew Hopkins is selected. Entering main menu screen, Super Franchise is selected. Entering pop-up, resume.
Back now on EA Sports at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. We've got a kickoff forthcoming as we get back into the action in the 3rd quarter.
Harrison Butker in a kickoff for Kansas City.
So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Automatic first down.
Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And he'll drop here to throw. It's complete. He's got Gronk.
Brady's pass.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Brady. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
So often we talk about winning on 3rd down. Well, winning on 1st down is important as well to put teams in adverse situations. Nice start there for the defense to begin this drive.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. On the delay, Jones. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. From the gun, it's Brady. Throw left side complete. That's McCoy. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground, and he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
Levante David, the Bucs' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd down and 7.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week, as he's got a 1st down as well.
And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Williams. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Now here's Mahomes. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
First down, Chiefs.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Bell. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 14. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, Kansas City. That's the end of the third quarter.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Williams. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Darrell Williams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Butker on for the PAT. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and a 9-yard run on the end of it.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a very nice return up to the 35, but was it aided by something illegal? Let's find out. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
A few better down a score in the fourth quarter than Tom Brady. This is 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Brady. Space to maneuver at the 40. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in his performance.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Brady to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's McCoy. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 27-yard line.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Again, it's Brady. This is caught. Gronkowski. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Brady again. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Mike Pennell coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They do get 6, but they've still got some work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
3rd and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Shotgun now for Brady. Drops this one off to McCoy underneath. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Extra point try now for Succop. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. Here's Hardman on the return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Eight yards to go on 2nd down. And that'll set him back 5. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape, and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On the ground, this is Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Levante David in on the tackle. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And quickly to Kelsey. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 39. 11 yards there, first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
That's not good enough, man.
So that'll back him up 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Here's Edwards-Helaire. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Shaquille Barrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Throwing now is Mahomes. And the pressure gets to him again. Terrell Suggs able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The attention shifting back to Chris Godwin and the rest of the Tampa offense. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at the 20. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Brady. Throw left side, complete. That's McCoy. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down.
That was just a good example of taking what the defense gave him. No one open downfield, knew where his safety valve was, swung it out to him. He gets upfield and picks up the 1st down. Well done all the way around.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Brady. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. From the gun, Brady. A quick pass here to Godwin. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Brady now on 1st down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 33-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the shotgun, it's a give to McCoy. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Brady to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st down, Brady. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
5 at the 24-yard line.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a short gain here down to the 22. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
31, Chiefs 28.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down 31-28. Just over a minute 40 to play. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. A quick slant to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
A gain of 27 on the play. First down, Kansas City.
Back to throw. That one complete to Hill. Past the 20. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow.
Kansas City.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And that will make this a 4-point game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
On the return, the Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Now all the focus shifts over to the Bucs. Trailing by 4. 54 seconds to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Brady to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. To throw is Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Brady. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs are likely going to win the football game. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for the Chiefs, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.